If your questions are gone, what do answers mean? People who don't do anything about their internal well-being, but think by asking a question and hearing an answer, their life is going to be settled, we are still entertaining them, okay? Some point I will stop the entertainment, totally. Right now, it's still on. At some point, it'll be only available to those who are intensely doing their sadhana. For the rest, they must listen to the YouTube. Because, old cinema is always entertaining. Because you need to understand this. Questions are coming from a place which can never know. That place from which you're asking questions is not capable of knowing anything. It wants a conclusion. I am not the sort to give you a conclusion, I am a process. If you are willing to be a process of growth, I am there for you. You want a conclusion, I will frustrate you. Because what is the point of a conclusion? This is an ongoing process. And the process becomes so beautiful and heady that you don't care where is the conclusion. Then you don't have any questions. So if I do all my sadhana, you're talking about it like it's some torturous process that if I do all this, will all my questions get answered? See, this happened. Shankaran Pillai, it's not fair, it's not always funny, sometimes it's serious. Shankaran Pillai filed for divorce. In the divorce, whatever the form that they filed in the court, he said that I want separation because of illness and exhaustion. The judge looked at this and asked, what is this illness and exhaustion? So Shankaran Pillai said, that's my lawyer's job, I only said I'm sick and tired of her. So questions can be answered in many ways. So, as a beginner, if you have questions, because that is how yearning begins, in the form of questions, it's okay. We are not against questions, but I want you to know the place from which all these questions are manufactured, that place is incapable of knowing. It's like this, do you do this? Don't do that. No, you must do it somewhere in your bathroom, at least you must do that. You should not do it everywhere. So you do this why? To clean your nostrils. So after some time if you ask, can my finger breathe? It can clean up the passage, but it cannot breathe. So don't ever believe your intellect will know, it will not know. It asks questions because it's like that right now, it's okay. Nothing wrong with it. So as you said, it's an act. Anything that you do with great involvement does something to you, all right? But there is a difference between doing an inward focused sadhana and an outward sadhana. It's not just for an actor. A manager can use his work as sadhana, a gardener can use his work as sadhana, Anybody who's doing whatever with absolute involvement, they can use it as a process of growth. But there is a distinct difference between doing external activity as sadhana and internal process as sadhana. What is the difference? External activity as sadhana is useful because you can do it throughout the day. And of course, you have to do some activity. Making that also into your process of growth is important. But the reason for internal sadhana, which has nothing to do with the outside, is to create that inner space within you. Because your outside sadhana is subject to results, you can't help it. Suppose in the middle of your act you forgot your dialogue. You can't say, this is my sadhana, I forgot and it's fine, I'll still enjoy and grow. No, you will be demolished on that day, isn't it? So your outside sadhana is subject to a certain level of performance and result and appreciation and the monetary returns and everything. But still it can be useful, it can be working for your well-being if you're doing it with absolute involvement. If there is involvement in anything, just your breathing, if you're absolutely involved, this will become your sadhana. You're walking, you're acting, you're anything. Involvement makes every act into a kind of growth, but still creating an inner space is very important because that's not subject to anything outside. Nobody need to clap their hands when you're meditating. Yes, you do your kriya, you're not expecting somebody to appreciate you at the end of it. It is not subject to any external reality and that's very important. That at least one aspect of your life is like this, it is not subject to anybody's appreciation or approval or whatever, but still you do it with absolute involvement. There are other dimensions to it. Apart from that, for you as a person to do something which has nothing to do with anybody around you is an important act that you have to perform every day. It's very important. So if you do that well, it'll be very easy to make your life's activity into your sadhana. If this inner space is not there, life's activity can slowly catch you up in such a way that for a lot of people, the professions and whatever else they started with great passion, after some time it's killing them. It is. Well, most people on the planet, isn't it? Simply because there is no inner space. So all this in… I'm not an expert in these things, but I remember this because of something that came my way once. All this in one single sentence was uttered by Krishna. He said, Yogastaha Kuru Karmani. It simply means, first establish yourself within you, then act. Then no action is a problem. You can fight a war, you can act, you can be a priest in the temple, you can cook, you can sweep, it doesn't matter what you do. But first establish yourself and do whatever you want. He's not restricting your action. He's saying, do whatever you want, whatever is needed you do, but first establish yourself within yourself. Otherwise, you're using external activity to make yourself who you are, which will be disastrous. Establish who you are, then act, no problem. But if you're using your activity to make yourself into something, if something comes in your way which doesn't allow you to become that, you will be destroyed. So don't try to be a yogi by teaching yoga. You become a yogi and then if people are interested, we will teach, otherwise we'll just close our eyes and sit.
Sometimes when we sit with questions about life, big questions, quiet questions, we don't really want ready-made answers. What we are truly looking for is deeper space within ourselves, a space that holds silence, openness, and patience. And if you are still here listening, watching, breathing, maybe something in you is quietly turning inward. Not because of pressure, not because of discipline, but simply because the longing to understand something more about yourself, about this life has been stirred. You don't need to rush to conclusion or immediately apply anything. This isn't race. This isn't a taste. Your journey is your alone and it will unfold at its own space, in its own rhythm. No step is wasted, no experience is without meaning, even if it doesn't feel clear right now. Whether you are practicing something daily or simply sitting with yourself in silence, whether you are working hard in your profession or taking a pause to breathe, each moment carries the potential to become something sacred when we make with honesty and full presence. So take a deep breath wherever you are right now, just for a moment. Let go of trying to get somewhere. Let go of the needing to figure it all out. Let yourself be. That is something the most courageous things we can do. Just to sit quietly with ourselves without judgment. This space, this quietness, this aliveness, this does not need to be explained. It just needs to be lived gently, one breath at a time. You don't have to change your life overnight. You don't have to feel clear or certain. The beauty of the path is that it is not straight. It bends, it dips, sometimes it gets messy, and that's okay. You are not doing it wrong. Keep walking, keep wondering, keep being curious, and above all, kind to yourself on this journey. Thank you for spending time here. Thank you for listening, not just to this video, but to the whisper of life within you. Do remember, this is not a summary of Sadhguru's word. It is simply my interpretation of the deep wisdom he imparted. Kindly keep them separated and do not misunderstand. Thank you for joining, and we will see you tomorrow. Until then, please stay tuned. Namaskaram.
चंद्रचूड़ शिव शंकर पार्वती रमणा निनगे नमो नमो